Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's Noble Beer Reviews. So today I have a review that isn't a beer, but I think it's close enough and it really follows suit in the beer community. So I think it's acceptable for me to rate Mead sometimes. So this Mead is called the Statement. I don't know if you can see it there written in cursive. And you can see there it's from Schramm's Meadery out of Ferndale, Michigan. So Schramm's is highly regarded as one of the best, if not the best, meadery in the world, or in the U.S. at least. So this mead is made with Balaton cherries. And so it just says, the statement's a result of 20 years of growing Michigan tart cherries and nearly a dozen test batches. Living up to the name, this Melomel's expression of genuine cherry flavor truly makes a statement. The delicate balance of sweet honey and tart cherries makes the statement a natural complement to chocolate and sharp cheeses. Anticipated maturity, 5 years, which is interesting. So I don't know. I think someone sent me this about a year ago, maybe. So I mean, it's like a year old, I guess. Anyways, yeah. So it's a cherry mead. It's 14%. I think this is the second mead that I've done from Schramm's on here. The other one I did the Eric the Red. I think that was cherry and raspberry. So it might be the same cherries that are in this, but there's no raspberries in this. So not going to do a huge pour because this stuff is really strong, and a little bit goes a long way. So, plus this isn't a huge bottle either. As you can see, it pours it's actually a pretty dark, a really dark ruby red to almost purplish color. All the mead that they make is still mead, so I mean it's not going to be carbonated. Obviously, you can tell it didn't pour with any type of head at all. So it's been a little while since I've had some of this, but the aroma on this is just incredible. You really get like that deep, like boozy nose, which in mead I have no problem with that because it comes with the territory, and I like it because it makes you sip it and appreciate it more. Big boozy nose up front. There's a ton of really nice, like fresh raw honey, and then just a big flush of tart cherries. I mean, if you made like a sandwich out of like crushed cherries and honey, would be what it smells like. That sounds way too sugary and just weird, but that just made me think of that. So, all of their meads are, I would say they're probably considered dessert meads. They're definitely sweet, but they're not like on the outer edges of sweetness where I'm like, that's too sweet, I don't even want to drink it. But everyone has their own tolerance when it comes to sweetness, so I generally don't like, in beer I don't like stuff that's really sweet, but in mead I kind of consider it more of like a dessert thing, so I think it's more appropriate in this. But it's also not over the top sweet. And the cherries, like, I guess it's probably because it's covering up the honey, which obviously honey is really sweet, even whatever residual honey is left over that's not fermented out. But there is a huge cherry flavor, but it's really not. It's not tart. I know it says on there the ballots and cherries are tart, but I wouldn't really call it tart. To me, it's kind of like a it's slightly tart, but it's more of like a deep, sweet, like black cherry taste on top of honey. And there is a lot of alcohol in this one. I would say even more so than some of their other ones. But it is 14%, so it makes sense. Um, I mean, his meads they're so good if it's what you want. Like if you want a sweeter mead, if you want one that's completely flush with fruit, but really well balanced, and actually really easy to drink for being so strong and being kind of sweet, then that's what you're going to get with his meads. If you want something that's really dry and or carbonated or something like that's not what you're going to get from them. So, but mead is one of the few things where I actually like the sweet ones. I like the best because to me that's kind of what mead should be like. Anytime I have like a dry carbonated mead, to me it just reminds me of like crappy white wine. I like mead to be kind of its own thing, so that's why I do actually like the really sweet ones for the most part. Yeah, I don't know how much this costs. Someone sent. I know I've bought their other stuff in stores. So I think in this format, this 375, I think it's 375, right? Yeah, I think these are like $25 maybe. So I didn't know $25 for 375 sounds crazy, but like look at the pour that I took. If I'm gonna drink some of this, like that's all I'm gonna have. I'm only gonna have a couple ounces, so this bottle will probably last like 5 servings or something like that. So when you think of it that way, it's only like $5 for a pour, so that's pretty reasonable. It's not even more than bar prices. If you got this in a bar, it would be significantly more expensive than that actually. So I think it's well worth the price. Anytime I'm up in that area, like so I mean I can't get it here, but in Michigan or even there's some places in Ohio that get some of their meats. I'll grab some there. Just to have it, and it's a really nice thing to have around too, because if you're always used to just cracking open all these crazy craft beers, and you have some people around who don't really like craft beer or beer in general, but they're wine drinkers or even mixed drink drinkers, and you bust this out and they drink it. Everyone I've ever done that for was like, holy crap, what the hell is this? This is so good. So it's really good for a lot of different people, not necessarily people who love mead or love craft beer. So this is definitely a buy for me. Their stuff is, if you like sweet fruited mead, they're better than anyone else in my opinion. So, but I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.